Good morning. Welcome to Morning Java, brought to you as always by our friends at the Get Go Cafe and Market, where they are offering curbside delivery. You just order on your Giant Eagle app, sit there in a lot. They come and bring it out to you. You see Ramon over there sipping on his Tennessee mug. Look at that thing. It's your standard Starbucks model. Very nice. You got the Nashville guitar on it and other things. Well, Aaron in Tennessee, a longtime reader, saw Ramon holding this Tennessee mug on a recent job, and she said, well, that won't do. She made, I should say, this mug for Ramon and gave it to him a few years back, right? This is you and Kelvin Beacham coming off the field. And she was watching Java, and she said, I got to get you one of these too. So what do you know? This thing shows up in the mail the other day. And this
Perfect time, man.
Forearm bashing. One of the
That's about as close as we can.
Yeah,
that's about as close as we can get to handshakes now. Is the forearm bashing?
That's right.
So
that's right.
We were ahead of our time.
Aaron is a special kind of Steelers fan down there in Tennessee where you are, and she gave you one of these initially, right?
She do. I still have it, honestly, and I like that. I actually set it in my locker in my cubby. It was at the front of my locker. I saw it every single day. She is a very sweet lady, man, and she means the best for all Steelers fans, at least. But I think people too, man.
That's right. Ravens fans are people too. Yeah.
We think.
Let's say, yeah, right. That's right. Let's talk a little bit about Troy Polamalu, because all week Dale Lawley's been writing an extraordinary 5-part feature in which he talked to Troy, a lot of people that are close to him. I love the fact that all the goodness about Troy in general is being brought back. Here we are 5 years later. You know, if the ceremony in Canton still goes off as scheduled, Troy will be formally in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, first ballot, everything that he's deserved. What are your experiences with the man? I know that's asking a lot.
Yeah, no, man, you saying his kindness and the niceness of it, it makes me think of everything about him. Like, you say the niceness part of it, and it's genuine, but you also see the serious side of him. The mean side of him, in a sense, on the field, never off the field. But you see that click, that switch that came on with them also. And then after the games or on the way to the hotel, you see the silly side of him. He was such a mask guy. He had a mask on so much, I guess, as far as who he was, because all he was to a lot of people was just the hair. Nobody really saw the personality, and that's one of the things that we kind of get pushed to the wayside a little bit. In football, unless you're a superstar, okay. Nobody get a chance to see your personality, and Troy's personality was hid behind his hair and his face mask so much of his career. So to see people talk about the kindness that he has and who he was off the field is one of the things I enjoy about him. You know, it's just like one of those things where people, I just saw a video the other day of Peyton Manning. Who knew Peyton Manning was a funny guy? You know,
right.
And that's one of the things I hope the world get a chance to see with Troy is Troy has a lot of personality. He's a funny guy. He's a kind guy. He's a caring guy, but he is also a menace on the field, man. But I think if you know him, you mentioned the soft-spoken guy. You mentioned the caring guy. If you've seen him just hang loose, then you realize that he's a funny, silly guy too, man. And I hope people get a chance to see that more and more with him being inducted as a Steeler, of course, a first-rounder. Hopefully he starts to show and let people hear him and see him, you know, be human, I guess, in a sense, because a lot of people do like to be in a shell and not expose themselves a little bit, because people these days will critique every single thing about you. So for a guy like him, it'll be good to see him on TV doing a spot here and there, man. I love Troy from day one. Like I said, he embraced me from day one.
But you know, Ramon, the one thing that people ask about, and because the Steelers family, as you know, and you're about to find out, doesn't stop existing when you stop playing. Okay.
Yeah.
We still see all kinds of guys, not just the ones that are paid to be around or whatever. We see all kinds of people come back into the fold, be around the team, advise the team, help the team. Again, not just talking about professionally here.
Yeah.
Brett Kiesel's the one that jumps to mind right now as a guy. He's a Steeler. I mean, he's a Steeler for life.
Yeah.
You're a Steeler for life. You committed to that with the nature of your retirement. I mean,
Yeah.
you put it in writing.
Heath is another guy like that. Heath Miller.
Oh yeah,
yeah, you know.
How important would it be for the Steelers and for Troy and everybody else to start having, Troy? I'm not asking you to criticize him for heaven's sake, but how much would it mean to everybody for Troy to and Coach T and everybody else to figure it out? Come on back around.
It would be good simply because I don't think they realize how important you are to guys. You see their faces, you hear their names, you see their clips on social media sites and all of that type of stuff. But to actually put a face and a place to reality for some people is huge, man. Meeting Marvell Smith for the first time, I had heard so many stories about Marvell that I felt like I played with him. Okay, just hearing that. And just seeing him in person and be like, man, I've heard so much about you. Like this, just paying homage to people who they, in a sense, they become idolized. Where okay, when you meet them, they're just humans, or it gives a guy, a little inspiration in the sense that hey, he walked in the same locker room I did the same things under the same coach, and it just brings it to reality. And it's huge. So whatever has to happen, I'm sure will. I think we've all kind of realized that life is, is real precious. There's no sense in having voids or walls, whatever you want to call it. And I know he has a great heart, and I feel like the Steelers will want to work in a great faith with him. So it'll be good, man. I sent him a text message last week, and he replied back instantly, man. And that's just who he is. I mean, I played with Troy 4 years, I think, and for him to, still reach out and reply back with, I look at him as an icon, still. Even just, I look at him as an icon, and here he is, just a human replying back to his own, I'm still just a young guy to him, but it's,
right.
It's kind of cool that he is just who he is.
All right, you name drop Zach Banner in your column and this week, and you referenced him being a guy that you felt like you took under your wing. Now, if there have ever been two people who are polar opposites, actually, it's everyone and Zach Banner. Okay, that's who's different. He came in as a rookie. He made his impact on the field. He made his presence known. He showed that strength. Everybody thinks about him as the
big guy.
They're big of the receiver eligible and everybody at Heinz Field cheering, which was really cool. And then there's that goofy thing that he would do in the last minute whenever the kneel down play, and he was getting all intense and everything. Okay. And the other team didn't know what's going on here. Am I supposed to take this seriously? Should I knock this guy down? What's happening here? But he's strange, and believe me, I'd say this to his face here, okay? Because I think we all can talk to him like this, in that he's really vocal, he's really visible, and at the same time has just the right amount of legitimate humility. It almost doesn't make sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The one thing that I admire and appreciate about him, and if you know, then you know about certain things, is that he embraces his bigness. I think he's been a guy that's always known he was a bigger guy. He's taken advantage of being a bigger guy, and he doesn't shy away from it. And that's cool. A lot of people who are my size or his size or the size of like Flozell, just tall people, period, they shrink. They're, they want to, the majority of the people like shrink down, or when you take pictures with your friends, most of them are short. You usually,
slump over.
You slump over. He's a guy that stands broad, and he's taking that approach on in a major way. It's come with criticism. It's come with, a lot of heartache, I'm sure, from him. A lot of dark moments for him, I'm sure, in a sense. But he's found ways to navigate outside of that with his weight loss, with the training of himself and learning who he is as a person, aside from being the big guy, and he's honed into it, man. And he has no shame about what he does on social media, how he talks to people. He's assertive, he's respectful, and he's it's one of the things that I say, he's not afraid to reach out and ask questions to guys. His humility is something that's rare. And this, I used to always joke, like, young guys, y'all are just weird, y'all are different, but Zach doesn't have a problem with asking questions. Not afraid to ask the simplest questions where some people might think that's stupid or I can just look that up. He texted me the other day asking about something in Pittsburgh. I'm like, dude, you really could just look that up. But he wanted an answer from me.
Yeah.
Because he knew I was he knew I would lead him the right way. And it's kind of cool that that's who he is. I really am looking forward to seeing how this little I don't know if it's going to be an O-line shuffle or the competition aspect between that right tackle position and then who's actually going to move to left. If somebody's going to move, I guess the elephant is Matt going to move to left and compete for that job, or is it going to be a competition between Zach, Chooks, and Matt at the position? And who's going to be your best five? Like that is, it's not a headache. It's going to be very interesting to see how this unfolds. And the guy that's in that mix and only signed a 1-year contract, who needs a big year, is Zach. Matt's kind of proven himself a little bit. And truth be told, if Matt went to left, I think Matt would be fine at left. I don't know if he wants to play it. I'm not imposing that on him, but that little trio at right, and also I guess the trio at left guard, is going to be huge. And the guy that needs a huge point in that is Zach, because he's done so much, honestly, and said so much social media wise. And that's one of the things I've always told him. I was like, hey, look, that's who you are, be who you are, enjoy everything that comes along with, the tackle 72 eligible type stuff. I was like, you got to remember, when it's time to ball, they really only care about what happens on that field. It's cute when you're just in a spot position. But what you realize is when it's go time, those same people that yell when you was eligible, if you are the guy and you give up something,
they will know. They will turn in a heartbeat. I've seen it for years. I remember a conversation that Zach and I had in Baltimore after the final game. He pulled me over, and he said I'm here to tell you that I'm here to start next year. This is what you're looking for. If this was at the time when he wasn't sure he was going to get tendered, if they tender me, they're bringing back a starter. I want you to know that. He wasn't projecting as to where he'll start, whether it's like you said, at right tackle or wherever it is. Although that's obviously natural for him, and you could see, like you were saying, Matt Filer. There's other options in there. You didn't even mention Stefan Wisniewski's coming over.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
just started in the Super Bowl, for crying out loud. There's a lot of options that Mike Tomlin and Sean Surratt have on offensive line, but Zach is a guy that if he can walk the walk,
Yeah, and also it'll be something I want to talk about closer to camp, because that's when it becomes real. But like, you got 3 guys that's coming into contract situations. Zach, who could be an unrestricted free agent. You got Matt, who could, in my opinion, I'll say
make
this.
A lot
he's
of
not
money.
saying this. He should have made it this offseason, simply because he's proven that he's a starter caliber right tackle in this league. Yes. I'll say that for him. And Matt has changed. He has transformed himself to a friggin' guy on Game of Thrones. He looked like somebody. Yeah. He can do any, super athletic. And then you got the young athlete in Chooks. Like that, the depth, at least at that position, and possibly being able to flex somebody over to left guard with Wisniewski there. And you also got Darryl and Gray in the fold.
Well, let's not forget, Ramon, you got to have a rookie. You got to have a backup at left tackle too.
Yeah.
And I would not discount that one of these individuals, maybe it's even a Chooks or somebody, starts taking some reps. I know that sounds a little bit radical, but you can't just have Allie there and hold your breath.
That's true. And the best thing that Zach has going for him in that sense, he may be able to flip easier, I guess, or at least with flipping side to side, his size can really take up for a good bit of if he has some deficiencies. Just size
Just
matters.
stand there. Yeah.
Just that right there, that arm span stuff is huge. Even if you get beat off the ball, you can, look at me. I'm talking analytics like we got a
No,
board.
you
But
are, but it's the Jonathan Ogden thing. It's just where you just
yes.
Jonathan Ogden could mess up and nobody knew. And for anybody who doesn't know, this is the great Baltimore left tackle. He was just Jonathan Ogden was just the Jolly Green Giant over there. He was just like this, and he would keep the whole lineup. And did he play it well? Who knows? Who cares? He just existed.
I'll tell you another one there's two other guys that are becoming like that figure in this league. That is Orlando Brown with the Ravens, big body, figuring it out, and that's the Brown right tackle for the Raiders. What is his first name? He was with the Patriots, won the Super Bowl, and he's the highest paid, I think, right tackle or tackle in the game.
Yeah, it's going right over my head right now.
I know it's over my head too, but watch his film if you ever get the opportunity. He takes 1-2 steps and he touch and just hold. Okay, yeah, this is a child. We were watching them one morning, and no lie to you, we were laughing because I'm like, he's not even doing anything, but he's doing everything. Like, he would just literally 1-2 steps, technique however he want to play it, because he knows himself. I got you, and let's just dance. Let's just dance side to side. And he was shutting the best guys down, man. Amazing to see that. But Zach has that ability if he hones it in, if he gets away from the tackle eligible stuff.
Okay, and in all that time that little coffee thing poured, the little transition screen, we went and looked up. It's Trent Brown in Oakland. He's
major respect for him.
6'8", 380. Everyone has major respect for 6'8", 380. Sixth year in the NFL, and like you said, actually just broke through. You know, some guys come along later, but that's a special kind of talent to have. Let's switch to another member of the AFC West with a little bit more prominence, and everybody kind of knows his first name. And that's Patrick Mahomes of the Chiefs. When you see someone achieve, Ramon, what he did at such a young age, and to do it at such a convincing level, it's not like, oh, here's a young quarterback who led his team to the Super Bowl. No. Here's a young quarterback who led his team to the Super Bowl, who even during the course of the Super Bowl itself was challenged again and again and again to be the guy. And he was the guy. How do people not start looking at the Chiefs and thinking to themselves, that maybe now this is where the road goes, the way we thought of Foxborough for so many years. Do you know what I mean? This guy's not going anywhere. The talent around him is not going anywhere.
It's not, and they're so young and cohesive and have bought in. I don't know what Andy Reid does to the guys that he coaches, but they have a love affair for him in the sense that they want to be around him. I'm not sure there's many guys that said anything bad about him. When he finally won the Super Bowl, it was so many former players who they weren't crying, but they were like happy, beyond happy for him.
For him. Yeah, not the team that hadn't won since Super Bowl III.
Yeah.
It was the everything, the people around the football world. You saw Coach Cowher when he was on the set at the time was getting really emotional because he was in a similar spot.
Yeah.
When he won in Pittsburgh, and he knows what that's like. Like, I won everything except this.
I say that to say, like, I think they can have that group for a while with him being the center point for all the cogs around the world and Patrick Mahomes. I'll put it this way. I have a almost anti-Steeler jersey policy in my house for my kids, okay? There's no AFC North teams, okay? No AFC North teams. But if you do pick somebody else outside of somebody on the Steelers, they got to be that good. One, my oldest guy was Aaron Donald. Okay, I give him that.
He's from Pittsburgh and everything.
Yeah, solid dude, contributor, all that. And the other one, my youngest guy was Pat Mahomes. He got it for Christmas. And when I tell you how excited he was to have that jersey, he took it out of the package and wore it all day. We had to make him take the jersey off. And I say that to say, I wouldn't have gotten my son that jersey had I not believed that that kid is that good too. I think he's had his 3-year run, 4-year run of being like, okay, he's going to be around for a while. And you know what? I distinctly remember when we played Kansas City in Pittsburgh during his first tenure of starting. It was at Pittsburgh, and he came out. And me, I didn't know anything about him, probably the way you guys did. I didn't know he came out. Or was it Nevada or what college was it? Whatever his college was. I didn't know he was a first-round pick out of there. He sat behind Alex Smith and just waited his turn. I had no idea. So when it was our turn to play him, I was like, okay, we're just gonna light him up the way we do all young quarterbacks.
Yeah.
You know, it was like light him up. Let's go.
Let's go. Yeah.
Let's go. This is a young quarterback. Our defense is one of the best at exposing young quarterbacks. And when he came out and played the way he did, I think the final score might have been 45-42. And we had to fight and claw back so hard because I think they jumped up like 24-7.
Yeah.
And it was all him. He was late, like he lit it up better than I've seen any young quarterback come through in this league. I've seen Luck as a young guy, RG3 as a young guy. He didn't do a lot of stuff that won him MVP against us. Was it MVP or Rookie of the Year? He didn't do a lot of that against us, but seeing Pat Mahomes build from there himself as far as his throws and accuracy as a young guy at that point to where he is now, I don't want anything to happen in the NFL at any time. You got to get through injuries. You got to get through, camaraderie, all of that stuff. But if they're able to keep that offense somewhat intact and continue to just honestly service the defense, that's going to be a rough place to play it. On top of it already being loud when you go there. And this kid, he's mobile. He's got a good arm. You can tell he's smart. And he has the qualities to get it done.
And that's the thing. There's a difference between being mobile and putting yourself consistently in harm's way.
Yes.
But he doesn't do that. He's mobile with a plan.
Mm-hmm.
Like he rolls out to a designated spot. He's not winging it. It's not. And that's one of the things the many things that impresses so much. I mean, obviously the arm is what stands out. His ability to just place the ball wherever he wants, whenever he wants, at whatever trajectory he wants.
Yeah.
But seeing the head for the game, I will tell you this: if it makes your rule feel a little bit better, in the house, his dad pitched for the Pirates. So
yeah.
So there you go.
we can relate it to that, but I didn't mind him getting that jersey, and of course they have mine and other guys on the team jerseys. But it's always like that when you don't know the people, you're that much more excited. But they're that excited about Ben and all our guys too. So it's just that he wanted that one, and it had to be justified. And I think if you're a fan of the sport, you can kind of ride with that idea,
Yeah, that's the thing. When I look at Patrick Mahomes, the thing that I think about first and foremost is that the NFL always has those 2 or 3 quote unquote faces of the game.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that Patrick Mahomes is becoming that, if he isn't already that. In this sport. I mean, certainly the Super Bowl and the nature of the way that he won it. By driving his team down the field, that's great. When a guy like Tom Brady is, I mean, he's still, believe me, Brady's still going to get his headlines in Tampa. Okay, Ben is still going to get his headlines in Pittsburgh.
Yes,
but I know that younger fans will gravitate toward younger players regardless of their caliber. So I think that because they say that's my generation's player. That's the guy that came along when I was there. And to have it be in a good, honest, pure football market like Kansas City that's deserved a Super Bowl championship for such a long time.
Yeah.
For the support they have, I think it's just a perfect mix.
It is. And you know what's funny? Sunday, I'm looking at football on TV. It was actually the Patriots Kansas City game, And of course, I'm listening to Romo break it down because I hadn't really heard Romo break down like games. And
Oh, he's so good. That is not hype. He's actually that good.
he said something in the game, and for a young guy to already be doing this, which is Pat Mahomes, it was when they were just starting to rally back. The game was in Kansas City. Pat Mahomes rolled out his running back and went into the flat, beat Hightower. And Hightower was running up behind him. And Romo said Pat Mahomes threw the ball inside, like he's going to the corner, but he threw it to his inside number because if he threw it outside, he was like, the guy might have to overextend for the ball, and that can mean he only get one foot into the end zone. So Pat Mahomes already cognitive enough to be able to throw it inside number to make sure that his guy is inside the pylons for the touchdown.
That he can maintain his balance in that direction.
Yeah, in that direction.
That's basketball point guard stuff. No, really.
Yes.
When you're an elite basketball point guard, you are aware of which hand is so and so's best shooting hand, which is the best side and you're not just saying there's a human body. I am going to just get the ball to that person and see what they do. No. You're actually setting the stage.
Yes. You're determining what's going to happen before they do it. And it is that's why I'm a huge advocate of playing more than one sport. Because like you said that term, that is basketball.
Yeah.
Because you know how to, whether it's a bounce pass or whether it's you throw it side on, like there's so many different nuances of playing one game that you can pull from another game that correlates holistically until you become overall better. And for people who only play one sport, God bless you. I hope that is your thing.
Save this for this. This is a column.
I know this is.
I know.
Yes,
this is an actual column because you coach kids too, and I there's so many parents who specialize right now, and it's such a mistake. Everyone will tell you that. I have some thoughts on that myself, but I will. That's a column.
That might be the next one. So, but in that, Pat Mahomes is already savvy enough to be able to make that throw. You always hear like people, the experts speak about, okay, look at this trajectory. Where's the ball going? And that type of stuff, you either learn it fast or you just have it. And I think he's got a lot of what everybody wants.